stand? Yes, good girl. Rosie, sit. Yes, good girl. Rosie, down. Yes, good girl. Rosie, stand. Yes, good girl. Rosie, leave it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yes, good girl. Take it. Rosie, watch me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yes, good girl. All done. Good job.
Good girl.
Hey, Rosie, go get him. Yes, good girl. Rosie, sit. Yes, stay. Yes, good girl. Stay. All done. Good girl. Rosie, stay. Yes, good girl. All done. Rosie, sit. Yes, stay. Yes, good girl. All done. Good girl. Good girl. Sit. Yes, good girl. Good job, Rosie. Good girl, Rosie. Good girl. Yes, good girl, Rosie. Good job. Good girl. Good girl. Yay, Rosie. Good job. Good girl, Rosie. Good girl. Turn again. Good girl. Watch me. Good job. Stop and sit. Yes, good girl. All done. Great job, Rosie. Good girl. Good job, Rosie. Good job, Rosie. Good girl. Good girl, Rosie. Good girl, Rosie. Good job. Good girl, Rosie. Good girl. Good girl. Good job, Rosie. Oh, hi, come on, hi. Good girl. Is it? Look. Yes, good girl. Good job, Rosie. Rosie. Good girl.
Just a baby.
Yes.
Oh, good. Have fun. I have a punk cross Jack Russell at home.
Awesome.
And he just turned 17.
Oh, wow. That's a good
That's
age.
a lot of training for him.
Yes. Good girl. Yes. Yes, good girl. All done. Good job.
We're going to show you how Rosie does for off-leash hikes. Ready, Rosie? Let's go. Good girl. So I'm going to start out with a high rate of reinforcement and reward her every single time she checks in. And as we get success, we'll start to fade the rewards and reward a little bit less and a little bit less. So the idea is you want to start to reward them just enough to keep them playing your game. If you reward them too much, they won't leave your side. If you don't reward them enough, they'll stop checking in. Good girl. Okay, and as I start to fade the food, I want to make sure I'm still giving some acknowledgement, so verbal praise and affection if she's checking in. I don't want to ignore it altogether if she's checking in, or she's going to stop offering that behavior. So just as I tell people to walk away if they're jumping or barking or doing something attention-seeking that we don't like, if I start to ignore the behavior that I do like, I'm gonna lose that behavior. And the idea there is they stop doing what doesn't work to get them anything at all. So right now I'm using a combination of kibble. I've got some liver treats and I've got some chopped up chicken hearts. You wanna have a variety of treats and you've gotta kind of play around with the ranking of them. So the idea here is we want our best value treat to be better than anything in the environment, so that if I ask Rosie to leave it, she knows that if she leaves a smell or an acorn on the ground that she's playing with, I'm going to give her something better so that the choice results in a better outcome for her. So it's all about building up this reinforcement history where they learn they get better stuff from us, so that when we ask them to do things, they're happy and willing to do it, knowing they're going to get something better out of the deal. See, we're going to try a recall. Rosie, come! Good girl, hurry! Good girl, good girl! Oh, is it tough to get through there? You got it, good girl! Yes, good girl! Good job, Rosie. Okay, all done, go play. So the idea with playing hide and seek with them is you want recall to be a really fun game. So even though I talk a lot about using recall and giving high value stuff to build up that reinforcement history, that recall always ends in something good, we also want to make sure that recall is always part of a fun game and that we're more fun than anything in the environment. So if she's having more fun chasing leaves or chasing after a squirrel and I call her and I'm not very exciting, she's going to make the choice to continue doing what she's doing. But if I can be the most exciting thing and give her really high value stuff, she's going to make the choice to come to me instead. As we're building that up, if we think they might not make that choice, we want to make sure we're using a long line on them. So I'm not using one on her right now because we've practiced here lots and I know that she's got really good response to all her cues. But if I were to go somewhere new with new distractions, new sights and smells, and I think that she might not make that choice to come to me when I call her, I want to make sure that I've got a long line on her so that I can back up what I've asked for and make sure that she doesn't find alternative reinforcement elsewhere. So what I mean by that is if I call her off a squirrel and she continues to chase the squirrel and ignores me, she just learned that that's more fun. But if I've got a line on her and I can eliminate the choice for her to continue chasing the squirrel, get her to come to me and reward her with a big chunk of chicken, then I can teach her that she gets better things by coming to me instead. Up until it seems to be that she makes that choice to come running to me for the chicken every time, then I can start to think about getting rid of that long line. But anytime we question whether they're going to respond to our cues, have that line there so that they don't have a chance to fail. Rosie, come! Good girl! Yay, good girl, Rosie! Yes, good girl! All done, go play. Okay, so that was a really great out-of-sight recall on Rosie's part. And something that I want you to notice about what I did there is I make sure to back up that recall with a go play. One thing that a lot of people don't realize is that you end the recall by putting the leash on and leaving somewhere fun. For the dog, that becomes a negative association and then they resist doing it next time because they think that if they come to you, the fun's going to stop. So it's really important to make sure to back up that recall with a go play so that she learns recall's part of the game, she gets something good, and then she gets to continue to play. If it is time to leave, what I recommend that you do is you leash her up and send her to go play dragging the leash. Let her play for another minute or two and then just pick up the leash and go so that she's not associating that recall ends the fun. Now on that same note, if I'm using recall and then putting her in the bath, or using recall and then doing her nails, or asking her to do something that she's nervous about doing by using recall, you're going to build up a negative association and she's going to start to not want to come when called. So make sure that you're really making every effort you can to use recall to do something that she likes. It always ends in something very positive. We give her great stuff, we throw a party, we make it really exciting so that she's always excited to do it, always expecting something really good to happen when she does it. I'm going to change directions on Rosie and let her know that. Rosie, this way! Good job, Rosie. So it's just a cue to follow and let her know that we're going to change directions. You don't necessarily have to give a food reward for it. Realistically, the reward is we go have fun in another direction. But if she checks in, we are going to give her a really good treat. Good girl, Rosie. And she's motoring to get to me. Good girl. So I'm going to give her a food reward there. Good girl, Rosie.